As the race for the playoffs intensified, Week 20 in MLS served up a full round of 13 fixtures. That included 3 rivalries, old and new. And it's at Bank of California Stadium where we begin our review.
The derby that divides the City of Angels. The fixture that averages 5 goals a game.
And that's a brilliant fifth.
The rivalry they call El Tráfico.
Here comes Rossi for a hat-trick. Wow. Exactly.
Commentary comes from Matt Jackson and Phil Blacker.
There's Rossi. Towards Cifuentes, where Rossi had continued his run, met it sweetly. And it cannons back off the crossbar.
Definite worrying signs for Galaxy.
And here they come again. Rossi looked like he was in and then caught by Gonzalez. Referee points straight to the spot.
This is interesting as well. It's really close to the edge of the box. Where's the first challenge? No, I'd suggest that's outside the box.
He's going to go and check for himself.
I mean, that is without question outside of the box, obviously.
So it's not a penalty, but it is a red card, and I think they've come to the correct conclusion in the end. In towards Cifuentes once more. We met the initial one, Atuesta to Murillo. That's blocked. Segura will have a go. Pinball in the penalty area. He'll have another go. And it's off the inside of the post. Back by Janela. And it didn't fall for Segura for a third time.
This was a real scramble. Multiple shots going in. Good defending. That one was the one that caught Klinsmann out just because it got away so quickly.
Towards the stage where we may be seeing fresh legs from the home side. Pavon was convinced that had gone out of play.
It looked like it had. Can't give it up though.
Rossi forward, it's a dangerous ball, it's a good ball, and the finish is perfect to make the breakthrough in El Tráfico. Danny Masovski kept his composure and found the corner, and the pressure finally has paid off.
A little bit of controversy at the other end. The instinct was that it had gone out. Oh, I think that's out. Surely it starts to move off, doesn't it? It's only 3 passes and it's in the back of the net. See, Klinsmann's all over the place with his angles.
And they're currently checking it. It looked fairly clear-cut from what we just saw.
Oh, it's almost certainly clear daylight there.
Major moment in the match. But the goal has been given after the review. And look at this double change now. Bradley Wright-Phillips and Carlos Vela coming into the action. Well, it's a big moment, this. It's only his 4th appearance of the season. It's his first since that knee injury suffered in this fixture a couple of months ago. He's missed 11 matches on the sideline since then, but Carlos Vela is back. Atuesta with the time to turn, trying to pick the pass for Bradley Wright-Phillips, who's in for 2-0. That's what he does. Hasn't taken him too long after stepping off the bench to score the goal that will surely settle it. 2-0 LAFC.
That back 4 not straight for the Galaxy, and in the box, composure-wise, there's not many better. It's obviously getting reviewed because Bradley Wright-Phillips' hand is ahead of the play here.
I say he just stayed onside.
His knee.
Some doubt, isn't it?
The old fingernail special.
Has been busy, but after the check, the goal is chalked off. There goes Bradley Wright-Phillips. Rossi and Vela ahead of him. He was unselfish. This is Carlos Vela, and he's back in business to settle it in stoppage time. Stepping off the bench to score in trademark style, and as he usually does, he has his say in El Tráfico, and this is LAFC's day.
Yeah, well done, Bradley Wright-Phillips. Unselfish, head up. He's got his mates a goal. Vela's not going to miss these opportunities. He's got his team 3 points. They're well on their way to the playoffs now.
Whenever you could score in a derby game, that's big time. You know, we know that the fans want us to win this game so much, and to get the goal to win the game, yeah, it's a good feeling.
On Thursday night, there was another big rivalry in the West, and with plenty at stake. Seattle and Portland were level on points at the top of the standings, but 10 minutes in, the advantage was with the Timbers. Andres Flores understandably delighted to score on his first appearance for over a year. His team probably should have had another one just 7 minutes later. Diego Valeri unable to adjust his feet in time to react to Jimmy Chara's pullback. Portland were making their presence felt, and inadvertently so was referee Ismail Elfath. The official initially saw the humorous side of his accidental collision with Jordi Delem, but a block that would be far more common to see when the Seahawks play here rather than the Sounders ended the Martinique midfielder's evening. The game was seemingly heading in the same direction as the pairs meeting a month ago, which Portland won 1-0 thanks to an early goal. Jordan Morris's inventive pass to Nicolas Ladero, agonisingly close to ending in perfection. But there was an ideal finish for Seattle. Will Bruin's goal 3 minutes into stoppage time was his first in MLS for 18 months. So two goal scorers sharing uplifting stories, and the two teams sharing the spoils.
The Colorado Rapids were back in action for the first time in over a month, and so for their coach Robin Fraser, it was a case of trying to get his players back into the habit of winning. Judging from this game, that may take a while as SKC dominated. Johnny Russell's free kick saved by William Yarborough, the closest they came in the first half. The breakthrough seemed certain to come, and it finally arrived 9 minutes into the second half. Alan Pulido with his 6th goal of the season after a sharp turn and shot. The home team made it 13 minutes later. A free kick ricocheting to Andreu Fontas, and the Spaniard scoring his first MLS goal and making the most of the moment. As the game entered its final 2 minutes, the Rapids maybe started to tire, and SKC were able to pile on the misery. Gardy Kinder with the series of stepovers and the eventual finish as he matched Pulido with 6 for the season. And then for a final flourish, a display of power and finesse from Gerso Fernandez. He got away from Austin Trusty and then Danny Wilson and finished supremely well past Yarborough. After 2 without a win, Peter Vermees's team bounced back in some style.
Minnesota United are trying to find some thrust again in the West too. Their only win in their past 7 matches was against FC Cincinnati, but they probably should have been behind to the same opponents after Siem de Jong missed a golden early opportunity. Adrian Heath said he was thankful for the Loons' recent point against Houston, despite his side squandering a 2-goal lead. Kevin Molino denied the game's opener and what would have been his second against Cincinnati this month. But in a match of few chances, the pivotal moment occurred in stoppage time. Nick Hagland convinced the decision to award Minnesota a corner was the wrong one, and the evidence offered a compelling case. From the resulting set piece, the visitors scored their winner. Aaron Schoenfeld with his first MLS goal in exactly 5 years after returning from Israel. And with just seconds left to play, a comeback was of no concern to Heath this time.
Real Salt Lake had ended a run of 3 straight defeats with a victory against Portland last time, and they were clearly determined to start on the front foot against FC Dallas. Douglas Martinez so close early on. FC Dallas had won only 1 of their last 6, and they created a chance of their own as Bressan's volley skimmed the top of the crossbar. The tale of near misses continued in what was becoming a really lively game. Pablo Ruiz this time, and RSL desperately unlucky. Ruiz hit that one sweetly, but it was a miss-hit from the midfielder that led to another big RSL chance as Damir Krajlac flung himself full length, but Jimmy Maurer made the stop. For all of the goalmouth activity and for all that RSL attempted 24 shots, the game remained goalless and the home team created one final chance. Krajlac again, the woodwork again. It was richly entertaining, but it finished 0-0.
Vancouver and San Jose are both part of the playoff picture in the West, though participation for one could be at the expense of the other come November. The Earthquakes began the game in Portland 3 points ahead of the Whitecaps and were ahead on the night too thanks to Carlos Fierro's classy finish from Christian Espinosa's cross. But Vancouver's strength this season has been in their powers of recovery. Even the top 8 looked beyond them not too long ago. Ali Adnan's terrific free kick, an obvious nod to the quality they'll offer should they make the playoffs. There's a quirk to this Whitecaps team too. They're still to draw a match this season. It's been 13 months since they last did in MLS. That trend continued after to St. Ricketts winner just before the hour. These two now neck and neck in the West.
The Houston Dynamo had the chance to move towards that Western Conference playoff line and find some late season form, having won just one of their last 10 games. They started well, Memo Rodriguez denied by Aloy Room. Rodriguez was kept out there, but was not to be thwarted 8 minutes before half-time, when he first met Nico Hansen's cross, and then followed up after Room had made another save. A second goal for him in 2 games. Columbus should have drawn level just before half-time when Pedro Santos had the chance to extend his scoring run to 3 consecutive matches. It was one that he really ought to have taken. The Crew had lost their last 3 here and still hadn't managed a shot on target when Zarek Valentin came close to helping them out. Marko Maric preventing the own goal and sparing Valentin's blushes. There was nothing the Dynamo goalkeeper could do moments later, though, when Victor Cabrera sliced his attempted clearance and the Crew had their equaliser, still without having a shot on target. Substitute Luis Diaz with the cross that mattered. It was Houston who came closest to winning it, Jose Bizama persevering down the right side and Darwin Quintero missing a massive chance. Honours even after much incident in Texas.
It's been a long time coming. Orlando City are finally in the playoffs.
The great Nani, 56th minute for the lead. Nani delivers.
The clock, though, is ticking for debutants Inter Miami to join them.
Picks the pass, here's the chance, Arruti turns it in as the Miami defence begin the inquest.
New rivals faced off for the 4th time in Florida. Your commentators are David Prutton and Dan Roebuck.
Here is Antonio Carlos. Scored against the New York Red Bulls in a 3-1 home success earlier on this month on loan from Palmeiras towards DK. Awkward bounce and DK could be in here! Finishes brilliantly. He would not be denied, and in a foot race he will certainly get the better of the vast majority of the Miami backline.
It's an absolute mismatch at the back. I don't know whether Figal thinks that he's fouled there, but there's nothing in it at all. Yes, there's pressure on DK to score. Yes, he slips in between the goalkeeper's legs, but that is all rather too straightforward for the away side.
Pizarro, Carranza, this is Sweats! Really good save. Neat touches all around here. Galese equal to the shot from the fullback.
It's the best Miami move of the game so far. Glorious little touch inside to Ben Sweat.
Sweat still has possession. Pellegrini, he's only out ball really. Matuidi, though, is making himself available. Pizarro calling for it. Ricochets around. Morgan on the volley. Pizarro takes it down. Can he pull the trigger? This is Matuidi! Own goal! Well, there was not a lot that Janssen could do about that. It was hit fiercely at him, but it took a wicked deflection, and we're all square.
This is a shot by Matuidi. This is in danger of hitting the assistant referee on the other side. But as a defender, the ball comes towards you in the 18-yard box. You are going to react. He does. Unfortunately, though, sends it beyond his own goalie.
Morgan to take on Nani, gets a wonderful cross in off the crossbar. Carranza might get another go. Should have been 2-1.
Wonderful ball into the box. Carranza seemingly in the right place. Couldn't convert the header, though.
Nani to curl one towards the back post, back across towards Janssen, and Forsto, no, Michel denied. McCarthy with a wonderful stop. That looked certain to be the winner for Orlando. How significant might that be come the final reckoning?
What an unbelievable save by John McCarthy.
Plenty in pink inside the area, and it comes! Well, it just had to be the skipper, Leandro Gonzalez-Perez. Diego Alonso celebrates, and so do those Miami supporters. It is the hosts that lead by 2-1 in the 90th minute.
Lewis Morgan once again left-footed, right on top of the 6-yard box. There's so many players in there. It's bound to cause trouble. Gonzalez-Perez, though, nobody quite obviously marking him there. Diego Alonso, though, ecstatically celebrating with those home supporters, as does his skipper.
Full time here, Inter Miami 2, Orlando City 1.
I remember when I went to the box, I watched the scream, and it said maybe 88 minutes, and I look up and I say, please, it has to be for us. And the Lewis cross was perfect, and when I see the space between, I went there and the ball goes in, and we get the goal.
The Philadelphia Union had won 3 of their last 4 and could jump above their opponents Toronto FC to the top of the East with a victory here. They took the lead 27 minutes in. Kai Wagner with the teasing cross that was nodded in by Sergio Santos. The Union built on their lead just 6 minutes later from a less frequent goalscorer. Mark McKenzie with only his second in MLS and second in 3 games from Kacper Shibilko's header. The home team made it 3 and just about sealed the win 11 minutes into the second half. The clever dummy from Brendan Aronson creating space for Jamiro Montero, and he made glorious use of it. The placement, simply perfect. The last half hour was the Sergio Santos show. First on 63, another Wagner cross, another sharp finish to make it 4. And then, 5 minutes later, the Union completing a real rout and underlining a massive statement. Aronson with the surging run and perfectly timed cross for Santos to complete his hat-trick, the first of his career. A great display from Jim Curtin's team, who on this form must be one of the favourites to lift MLS Cup in December.
New York City FC are close to joining the likes of Philadelphia and Toronto in this season's playoffs, but 1 point from 3 games has suddenly conjured up unnecessary nerves. An early Maxi Morales goal would have done them the power of good. The Impact players and staff had the chance to recharge this week, having returned home to Montreal after using New Jersey as their temporary base. On their immediate return to the East Coast, they almost grabbed the lead. Romel Kyoto blasting a shot at the alert Sean Johnson. Without suspended striker Tati Castellanos, NYCFC looked toothless for the first hour, but they exploded into life in the final third of the game. Rudy Camacho's error punished to the maximum extent by Jesus Medina. There was an air of simplicity about the host's second. Morales allowed to canter up to the edge of the Impact's area and took the ball back off Anton Tinnerholm to score on his first start since early September. 3 points never really looked in doubt after that, but with 4 minutes to go, NYCFC had peace of mind. Tony Rocha volleyed in his first ever MLS goal. It's now 3 defeats in 4 for Thierry Henry's side. They're still in one of those crucial top 10 spots in the East, but those behind them will be encouraged. Kyoto got a late consolation, but the Impact will hold on to any positives at present.
The Chicago Fire are pushing to get above the playoff line, while the New York Red Bulls sit just over it, making this a key game in the East. The Fire should have been in front 25 minutes in. Jason Pondant's error, Przemysław Frankowski not able to take advantage. And that looked a costly mistake 6 minutes before half-time. Jared Stroud with a well-placed pass, and Kyle Duncan doing the rest to give the Red Bulls the lead. Six minutes after half-time, though, the Fire showed some spirit and got themselves back into the game. Boris Sekulic driving in the cross, and Robert Beric there to finish for his 9th goal of the season. And 18 minutes from time, Chicago completed the turnaround. Beric with the cross this time, Fabian Herbers with the header that rebounded off goalkeeper and crossbar, and Frankowski making it 2-1. Last week, Brian White had produced a 95th minute equaliser for the Red Bulls against Orlando, and now they needed lightning to strike twice. Extraordinarily, it did. A deflected shot from Mark Shatkovsky, leading to a chaotic scramble, which ended with White tapping in. Late and disbelieving salvation for the Red Bulls. Desperate disappointment for Chicago.
After a wait of over an hour because of poor weather, Nashville and New England finally got to meet again after their goalless draw earlier this month at Gillette Stadium. The MLS debutants have picked up a point more than the Revs since then, though Alexander Butner set about showing why the visitors were still higher in the Eastern Conference table. Daniel Rios had been central to Nashville's impressive performances of late. He'd scored on his last 3 appearances, including one in the victory over Dallas in the week, but Matt Turner stopped him topping up his tally. Randall Leal's corners were becoming a nuisance for New England, but beating Turner at his near post wasn't proving to be a successful route to goal for the hosts, despite Jalil Anibaba trying his luck. So Nashville went for a different routine, and often one that involves Walker Zimmerman's head is a profitable passage to goal. The march towards more points had begun late on. Yet the mood music quickly changed in Nissan Stadium. Within 3 minutes of the game's opening goal, New England came roaring back. Substitute Adam Buxer wriggled to find room to get the Revs a point. Both teams quietly heading towards a playoff place.
To our final game, where Atlanta and DC United were both fringe contenders for a post-season place after disappointing campaigns so far. It was DC who created the first chance, Julian Gressel feeding Eric Sorga, whose shot was saved by Brad Guzan. The home crowd was unquestionably restless, but nearly had a reason to get excited on the stroke of half-time when Marcelino Moreno let fly, his effort turned away by Bill Hamid. As it turned out, all of the significant action at Mercedes-Benz Stadium was saved for the final 13 minutes. First, Russell Knaus heading DC in front. To their credit, Atlanta responded and found an equaliser a minute from time. Brooks Lennon's searching cross, and John Gallagher with his 4th goal of the season. Atlanta pushed forward knowing that they probably needed a win to keep playoff hopes alive, and ultimately they paid the price. Kevin Paredes with some left-sided hustle, and Gelmin Rivas with a first MLS goal to win it late for DC.
That defeat for Atlanta leaves them 2 points short of the playoff places. Inter Miami have climbed into the top 10 at the expense of the Chicago Fire, and the Philadelphia Union are now the new Supporters' Shield leaders after beating Toronto.
Sporting KC shoot to the top of the West over both Seattle and Portland, while the rest of the top 8 remains the same, with Vancouver and San Jose switching places. The LA Galaxy remain bottom, and their post-season hopes are fading fast.
So delight on Derby Day for LAFC and Inter Miami.
And he comes! Leandro Gonzalez-Perez.
But we leave you with Philadelphia's hat-trick hero, Sergio Santos.
What a goal! Wagner playing it in. Goal! Santos! Santos! Yes! Hat-trick!
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.